something similar to offsets that a lot of your organizations deal with, which are renewable energy credits, right? And it's a similar idea, but not quite the same thing, right? So this is the idea that you are, a firm that's generating electricity. If you're generating renewable electricity, in parts of the United States do this, the firms or the companies generating renewable energy, wind turbines, solar cells, et cetera, get credits for doing that. So they get a credit and then they can sell that credit to somebody else so that your company, you're not able to get your emissions down to zero, but what you're going to do is you're going to say, oh, we are going to buy renewable electricity. Now, because we are on this big integrated grid, by paying for renewable electricity in that way, you're not actually getting the renewable electricity. Those electrons are not necessarily the ones going to your buildings, but you're paying for the equivalent amount of electricity on the grid, basically, right? And so it's a balancing activity, but they are a bit different than offsets, right? First of all, to the REC world, you do not need to prove additionality, right? So your money is not the reason this has happened, necessarily, right? You really can only do this with some scopes of emissions, right? So only scope 2 emissions related to energy and electricity. So renewable energy credits are not useful for other forms of emissions. And the other thing, obviously, that's different, offsets are measured in units of like tons or kilograms of CO2, where this is done in units of energy, kilowatt hours, megawatt hours, for example. So they are good things. I actually quite like renewable energy credits because they help provide the financial incentive, right? We heard from somebody at BMO earlier today, right? This is a way of making sure that the renewable electricity sector is getting a little bit of extra money and support, right? And so it helps push us towards a net zero grid, which is good for all of us dealing with this problem.